How are you? Welcome to the stream. Today I'm just going to be working on some art pieces. I'm going to be working on shakers, and all of the shakers are $20 in case you're curious. I also have this little cutie. This is a glow-in-the-dark cat skull tea light holder. And that dude is about 15, so I'm setting that one here so you can see that. And now I'm going to get started on working. I have my iPad set up beside me so I can see what people are saying, but mostly it's a work day. So I've got a lot to do because I have Atlanta Comic Con, not this week, but the week after. Oh, not this weekend, but the weekend after. So I'm restocking as much as I can, and that means lots of shakers and other pieces. I have little earrings I'm working on. These are little Switch controller earrings. So if there's things I don't have listed that you're interested in, that I haven't given a price for, just let me know, and I will do my best to give you a price on that. So it's mostly just getting in here to do all this stuff. So, and I might even do some watercolor painting. I made this this little Joker painting the other day. I really do enjoy playing him. This was messing around with playing with watercolors with him, and this is just me doodling watercolor things, and then ended up doing that. And I kind of am in the mood to paint like more characters. I watched the Batman, the 2022 movie, and really fell in love with their portrayal of the Riddler. And I also really liked Catwoman. I really enjoyed the Penguin, and I really love their way of doing Bruce Wayne with the black makeup around his eyes dripping down his face. I thought that really lends itself well to watercolor. It's got a lot in common with Heath Ledger's Joker over here. So I might get around to doing some painting, but the resin is my best seller, so that always takes priority. Y'all fellow sellers, you know what I mean. So I've got a ton to work on. We'll see how far I get before I need to take a break. So, I should have made one more thing. Let me add in one more sign. Okay. So any clips and earrings that I make, those are going to be 8. I have a couple already made. I have this one. This is a nice little moth clip. These are, I just finished these early this morning. I have another moth clip. This one has some purple pigment that I believe glows in the dark. Let me test with my UV light. Yeah, it does. See if you can see that. There is definitely a glow there. So that one glows purple. I also have, I really like this cicada. Turned out really, really pretty. Sorry, I keep forgetting which side my camera is on my phone. But yeah, I like the iridescence on that. Another hair clip. And then one more cicada, this one green. to blue, so pretty cute. So I have these all pre-made over here. So if you are interested in any of those, let me know. And I'll have more earrings and things as I work through. So, gonna get down to it. So, shakers. Those are the big things I need to work on. I've got to drill this guy. This one is a Nintendo Switch shaker. Has little moons and hearts in it and stars. These little opaque pale stars glow green in the dark, and the whole thing glows green. Let me activate it so you can see what that looks like. So yeah, really, really bold. So yeah, I need to fill this one. I also need to seal this one off. This one is a red heart-shaped little planchette. I've been making some of these without actually coloring in the lettering that came with it for the top piece, just because I kind of like it being a little ghostly. But I thought this was cute. And then I have this little coffin to finish up. Little coffin shaker. It has a glow-in-the-dark purple bone in it, which I thought was pretty cute, and all this pink and purple and black aesthetic. So very Jack Skellington goth going on there. So, oh, one more I have to seal is this anatomical heart one. Now with this one I had to cut the transparency film for it, but you see it's got little black hearts and little beads, and it has a little white skull in there, so I think that's cool. So I gotta fill that. Trying to figure out if I like the fills that I put in this one, in the anatomical heart. I feel like it could be a little bit cooler, but I also like the dreariness of it. I'm going to be painting the inside of this area black, where it has this recessed spot, and then sealing on top of that. So, oh, I think I also have to finish drilling and filling this one. This one I sealed yesterday. And see, I colored this part in, so it's on the inside. But yeah, this one has a nice little blue glow, like a swipe of blue through it, so that's pretty neat. So, and then other shakers I need to fill. I have two of these little switch shakers. They glow blue with black over here. So this part needs to get sealed on top, and I need to figure out what to put inside of it. So I have two of those. So as you can see, shakers are kind of my life right now. So that's what I'm going to be working on. Alexa, shuffle Vivaldi on Spotify.
Shuffling This Is Vivaldi from Kelly Spotify.
Okay, got some nice classical music going. We're jamming. Be all right. Okay, so let's get the UV resin. I'm using Sana UV resin hard type. I actually need to get some more of this, but c'est la vie. It is what it is, you know. Alexa, volume up 1. you hear a weird sound, that's because my cat is snoring behind me. She's very cute. It's kitty sleep time. I need a little bit more over here. Just making sure the resin is all evenly distributed. And seal her up. And then I'll check for any areas that don't look even. And patch those up. I just got another kitty on the back of my chair, so that's cute. Just all the kitties are here. My roommate isn't here today, so they're needy. Just making sure I got every little bit, even on the edges. Good, the bone shakes. I was a little worried. It did not want to move. Okay. So, some of the glitter is up here, and I do not know why. That's weird. What if I didn't press it far enough? Sigh. Well, I'm going to be going along the sides anyway. I like to make sure these are as thoroughly sealed as possible so it doesn't leak oil whenever I finally, you know, finish them off. Fill them. Excuse me. Okay. Alexa, shuffle royalty-free music on Spotify.
Shuffling songs by Somewhat Good royalty-free music from Kelly's Spotify.
Sorry, don't mean to get out of frame. It's easy to do when you get focused. I had to put my contacts in because I couldn't find my glasses this morning. So I'm a little, I have astigmatism, so my contacts are always a little off, I guess. They're not bad, it's just my left eye is slightly blurrier than my right, which is kind of frustrating, you know, especially when you're trying to do artwork, but what you gonna do? There we go. Getting that nice and sealed on the edges. And we'll get these last two edges here. So if you've never worked with UV resin before, it has to be sealed with a UV light. It's very similar to if you've ever gone to a salon and gotten a gel manicure or pedicure. It's that same kind of concept. It has to have the light to cure it. So you can mess with it for a little while before you actually seal it, which makes it really, really nice for doing artwork. But it also takes a little time and finesse to get used to how it seals differently from regular resin, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm in the world of Animal Crossing right now with this music, and I am kind of here for it. See, I wore gloves because I knew I was going to be working with the resin and the UV light and all that kind of stuff. This is a light specifically for curing this resin, so. But it also works really well for activating my glow stuff, so. this, do a little bit longer, just to make sure it fully got this side. Go. It's not tacky, so there we are. Pretty cute, huh? I think it's neat. So, and this will be full of oil, so that'll be pretty nice. I'll set that here. That one's just like this one, ready to go. So is this one. On to the next. Let's work with this one, the red one. Double check I like what's in here. I think I do. I think this one's pretty cute. So let me go ahead and start. Get this thing out of the way. And start adding this around the edges. As ever, if you have any questions about how I do this, what materials I use, anything like that, just pop them in the chat, in the comments. I'll come back and answer them. Even if you missed the stream, no big deal. So yeah. And all of these are available for sale as I'm working on them. So if you see one that you like, let me know. The shakers I'm working on today are all 20 bucks. Looks pretty thorough. Okay, put that on, adjust it, press it into place, and then let's get this going. It cures for a full minute, so in case you were wondering. Drink a break. So I filled out an application, well, not application, I applied for Con Carolinas, that's in June, and got in, so we're apparently going to be going to, I can't remember which of the Carolinas it is. I think it's North Carolina? Yeah, North Carolina. We're going to be going there in June. So if you live up there and you will be heading to Con Carolinas, come by and say hi. I will be a guest, and I'm super excited to be there. Be my first time doing that con, so it should be a lot of fun. Do you prefer going to in-person cons, or do you prefer doing shows online? there's pros and cons to each, obviously, but make sure you comment in the chat. What do you prefer? That last song was a bop. Okay, so let's see how this one is. Shake it around a bit. And see, it's not getting up in those little crevices as much as the other one was. I don't know why. Okay, sometimes it does, but that's just the tightness of the area. And it comes back out again. And probably will fix when on that coffin once I fill it. But those might have gotten attached to the resin. Well, it is what it is. See, everyone's gonna make some mistakes with these, and that's just how it goes. But isn't that cute? I love that red. It just looks so cool. So let's do some resin along the edges like we did with the last one, just to be extra safe, because these are going to be keychains, and keychains get knocked around. That's just how that is. So yeah, I've been a bit obsessed with Paul Dano's Riddler from the Batman. And not only just because he has a lot of autistic tendencies, but also because, like, the dude is a crafter. Like, it's clear that he's like, I mean, I could see him having a Cricut. He's making greeting cards. It's I was surprised at that, but it makes total sense. It reminds me of, I think, like, one of the big things that I always think of whenever I'm doing crafting projects, like paper craft, is I think of, and this is really silly, I think of the 1989 Batman when Jack Nicholson is cutting out pictures of Vicky Vale, and he's got all these, like, he's got his scissors and he's cutting out paper things and he's making collages, and I don't know, that just, like, always sticks with me. I always think of that whenever I'm doing, like, paper crafting projects. So it's funny to see that come back with another Batman villain, just paper crafting. I know that's really stupid, but I mean, I saw that at a very formative age, and it kind of affected my how I felt about, you know, doing art. I was like, this is kind of cool. You can be an artist and be terrifying. I know I was a little goth kid, I was a little spooky girl. So yeah, but yeah, that always stuck with me, and I thought that was really interesting. So it's neat to see it come back. If you haven't watched the movie, give it a shot. I really enjoyed it. Um, and they're working on a sequel. Apparently, they are getting ready to start filming it. There's a Joker movie sequel coming out with Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn. I am excited for that because it's going to be a musical, and I don't even like Harley Quinn. I like the Joker, but I am here for it. I mean, it's not that I don't like Harley Quinn, it's just that I feel like her character has been kind of devolved into this, like, rah-rah girl power thing that feels very, like, 90s, if that makes sense. She doesn't feel like she originally did, where she was like an equal and they were just kind of like bisexual besties with benefits, and it's just weird. I don't know, maybe I'm just old. But yeah, it's made me kind of want to watch that movie when it comes out. And I'll go to it. Joaquin Phoenix's Joker was, like, amazing for me. It wasn't Heath Ledger Joker, but it was pretty amazing. The world building was crazy. Okay, let's see. Yeah, there we go. Nice and sealed. Just making sure that this is all sealed on the edges just because I'm paranoid about things leaking. Ugh. And I know it's got plenty of stuff on it to keep that from happening, but you know, I would always rather be that person who overdid instead of underdid. If that makes sense. We'll stress test all of these before I actually put them out to sell, though. Before they come to the show and before we ship them, we stress test them. So we'll throw them around and see how they do, all that good stuff, because I want to see how they function whenever they have the most stress put on them that they can have. Just in a normal situation. I'm just surrounded by sleeping cats. I've tried doing these shows without music, but when I work, I listen to music a lot. And I can't listen to copyrighted music while I'm doing this because it's live. So that's why it's hard sometimes to document my process. I like doing live craft with me's and things like that, but I live on music. I'm always listening to something, or listening to music or a podcast or an audiobook. I'm always listening to one of those. So it's weird when I don't have that going. See what I mean about how this kind of gets like a little tedious? This takes a long time to make these. There's a lot of little small steps. Okay, let's see. Yeah, good. So there we go. Cute, huh? And they'll be fine. It's like, they're all good. So. Let's get you. Oh, there you go. Okay. So now, let me set this over here. Put this aside. And I need to figure out if I like what's in here. So right now I have some, let's see, some black hollow glitter, some little black hearts, some little black polymer clay sprinkles, a little white skull glitter piece, and the little bubbles. Those little bubbles help to keep things moving whenever the whenever it has oil in it. If you don't have that, it can just get, the pieces will just get stuck in a corner and they won't want to move as easily, especially the flat stuff. So I'm trying to decide if I like that or not, or if it needs to have a little bit more color to it. I feel like I could add some white stuff to it. Let's see what I've got. I don't know if I want to add like a ghost or something. I've got this cool glitter that's like really freaking UV awesome, but this is more of like a, I don't know, it feels like that would be too much. Break out some of my glitters. got these cool little red crosses. That would be kind of fun. It might be a bit much in there, but I could add a couple of them just to be super goth. Oh, there's a little bit of this white. I could use that. I think that's the same stuff as this. Yeah, I could use some of that. Ooh, this one's interesting. It's like a red to green. I might use that. Okay, so I think we've got some good options in here. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so let's go check that out. All right. Now when I add these, I do it as delicately as possible because I don't want to add too much glitter, but you also have to add stuff. So let's see. I'm having to wear these gloves today because I'm working with so much resin, but I do not enjoy working with gloves on. Alexa, volume down one. There we go. I felt like I was in whatever video game this is. This would be a funny little thing that show up in there. Okay, let go. There we go. There we go. Staticky little buggers. Okay. Now I'll get just a little of this. Ugh. Fingers, don't fail me now. There we go. Okay. Not much, just a little to add a little bit of extra like shimmer inside here. There we go. Half the investment is having enough supply of random glitters and fillers and things like that. Okay. That's neat. I do like that. Okay. Jesus, it's so staticky. Okay, so that adds something. I think that looks pretty cool. Gives it a little bit more color. You get that nice shimmer from that new glitter in there. So yeah, I like it. That helps a little bit. All right, so now this one I had to cut out. I used transparency film. So if you're old like me, you remember overhead projectors. That's what you have to use for these. So you have to cut it to fit, which is a little rough, but I did that before we started. I just lightly cut along the edge with an X-Acto blade just to score it. And then I add in the, and then I do the actual cutting later with a pair of scissors. Okay. Get this. I'm leaving that little little trough on the edge full because that's supposed to help me fill this. So I don't want to fill that in. Okay. I'll put this over here. Disney's rotted my brain. I thought this was some Bruno stuff. We don't talk about Bruno. So just sealing this. And we'll move on. Okay. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, that looks pretty good. What do you think? It's pretty cool, huh? So now I'm gonna paint this area up in here, these little deep wells. So let me get a paintbrush and my acrylic paint. Okay. So for my black, I use Stuart Simple black. This is like blackest black. It actually like absorbs light, and I bought this. A container of this was like, I think like 30 bucks, but it lasts a long time. And so I think it's a worthwhile investment. I've literally been using it for probably 2 to 3 years now, so just the same bottle. Okay. A little bit of water. I think the black really adds something for this because it's so busy with that type of glitter, so I think it just helps to emphasize those ventricles. Just making sure I have the edges inside. Yep. And once that dries, it's matte. So I think that'll be a nice offset. Then I'll put UV resin over the top of it. I haven't scheduled my next live sale that I'm gonna have, either here or on Whatnot, because I'm not sure how. Atlanta Comic Con is a 3-day show over a weekend, so I don't know how much stock I'll have afterwards. And I know you guys really like the resin stuff, and I want to make sure I have enough in stock for you. So I might schedule another live sale and craft with me, but I like to hold off on scheduling the other types of things until I know for sure I've got stock to actually sell. So, okay. So I'm gonna put this away and then I'll show you what that looks like. I'll be using the paint a bit more in a bit, so see how that looks. So let this dry fully, and then we'll move on to that. Progress, progress. Okay, so now I have 2 switch shakers. Now step 1 for these is painting. I shouldn't have put my stuff all away. Put the lid on the resin because I'm going to be using this in a bit, but not quite yet. It will cure in UV light, so if you're using it during the day, keeping it sealed is a really good idea. Okay, so let me clean this off. I told myself I can't do painting until I get some of this stuff done, so. I'm only using black, so I'm just using it straight out of the lid because I'm feeling lazy today. And I have a lot of these to make. So you can see they're time consuming. So what I'm doing is I'm painting very roughly to get into these grooves that have been etched by the mold maker for the detail. And then I'm going to set my brush aside. And I'm going to take my paper towel and I'm going to wipe it clean so that those grooves remain behind. And I have to do this pretty quick because once the acrylic sets, it's a lot harder to get off. And I don't want to sit here with my fingernails scrubbing it for hours. I've been that person. It's not fun. Just making sure it's clean on all sides. Okay, so see how much nicer that looks? It's a lot more visible. You can see the detail so much better. And once I seal it under the resin, it'll have a lot more depth. So let me get this again. To the other side. I know it's like dark over here, but it is not completely black. And that's why I like this matte super black because it will stand out even against things that are supposedly a black color. God, I almost put that in my tea. Oh, I'm doing great. If you can't get it off, remember that acrylic is typically water soluble, so you can always add a little bit of water. Some of my friends that work with resin, they add baby oil. I prefer water because just reasons. But see that? You can really see the difference, right? Like, I know that it's like still dark, but let me show you. You can see, and this will show up even better once it's sealed underneath the resin. Making sure those are filled in is a really important step. So now let me do the other one. And this will need to dry. So very roughly painting. Gonna take it all the way over here. And then put that back in the water. And then get this stuff up. Okay, and that looks good. Now to add on the other side. That's just me cleaning the brush. Just quickly swiping it back and forth is good enough in the water. And then I might add another layer of black onto these areas just to make them super dark. Once they've fully dried, of course. If you get it on anything, you can always wipe it with some water or with like some 409 or something. Washes right off. But it adheres to the resin really well because acrylic is made of it's like a plasticky polymer, and it clings to the resin really well. So I could not dome this with resin and it would still hold on good. Just darkening these, making sure they're nice and dark. So I won't have the chance to do that once I seal them. See how nice that looks? Okay, so there we go. Let me get this sort of cleaned off here. Yeah. It's just pieces of paper towel. Alright, so now this needs to dry, just to make sure it's all good. But while it's drying, we can figure out what to put inside of it. So I've been looking at this. Let me show you what it looks like when it glows, so you can see. So that's activated, that's non-activated. I don't know if that's showing up well on the camera. Let's see that. So I want something that matches that blue look. Ooh. I have some little resin pieces I could use, little filler pieces that I've made. I do like this little moon. That could be cool, but it's kind of huge for this one. So I don't know about that. I have a little pink bone, but I don't know if I like that either. Got a little glow-in-the-dark blue skull, but does that really go with Switch controllers? Don't be goth. Okay, so let's see what else I've got. I've got a lot of little cute filler pieces that I've acquired over the years. Here's our little bubbles. We'll need those. You can put some little black hearts in those. Those are cute. Ghosties might be neat. Don't know if they really work with this. Ooh, that's cool. Nice. I'm gonna pull out some options and I'll look at everything all together. Oh yeah, I love these little stars. This is good. Got more ghosts. No Jack Skellingtons today. Not sure about these little chameleons. I'm gonna wait a minute. Ooh, now the moons. I do like these. I have little fruit pieces and I need to make something that these work with. I keep making spooky stuff because I have problems. Now here's the thing I've thought about doing with some of these. So I have these little bitty like mushroom pieces. They're for tiny dioramas. And I thought about using some and affixing them on the bottom in there and then having stuff so like it can swirl around it. I may do something like that. I have some jellyfish like that too, but they're a little too big. I like these little white stars in here. I might use some of those. Okay. And I've got a couple of little white hearts. I do have some Among Us characters. I'm not sure if Among Us is a little played out or not, but I could add a couple just for funsies. Okay, so let's see what we've got. All right. Leave all this aside. Oh, I need to look through my glitter too. Let's see. This is an emerald to blue. That might be better than the pink to turquoise. Though yeah, let's go with that. All right. Ooh, this is nice. That might be a little too, maybe not. Could add some of these, maybe. I do like these little color shifting green bits. Maybe I'll use some of those. Okay. Oh, and I'll mix it with these. I like those too. Okay, let's go with that. Let me go get my little scoop. Okay. Scoop acquired. And another thing of glitter. Because I just can't stop. All right. So let's see. These are a given. I have to have these. So that's no matter what. I kind of really like this one, but I feel like I overuse this glitter. This one's cute too. I could mix them. That might be interesting. Okay. Among Us characters or not. Might be interesting with these little pieces in here. Let me see how these look. Not going to go with ghosts. Doesn't seem like it fits the theme. Okay, so let's see. Let me see how some of this looks. Okay. Are these too big also? That's another thing. Okay, these are nice. These are a good size. So, see how tiny these are? So I'm thinking if I like glue them in here like that, it might look interesting. I wonder if I can find a couple that might work nicely. That's cute. Kind of wish it was turned a little different. There we go. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. Okay, so I can do the same on this one. Matching one. Ooh. Okay, cool. So these will be a matching set. I have a couple of other ones if I really wanted to. Some of them have extra pieces on them, so I'm going to have to trim those off. That's okay. Yeah, I don't know if I want to fill them with mushrooms. 2 seems good. Okay. Yeah, cool people outside, huh? Alright. Let me get my pliers so I can hold them really nice. Okay. So this one looks like it's all good, doesn't have extras. This one though does. So let's get that. There we go. And this one. So a little bit right there. There we go. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Just looked like they were dripping, and that's not what I want. Just kitties doing kitty things. Yeah. There we go. Alright, that looks a lot better. I know you probably can't see that on camera, but it really does look a lot better. Okay, I'm gonna get the little pieces up. Alright, so now I'm going to dot a little bit of UV resin in there and then affix them. I know, what is it, Q? Let's put some in a little separate container so I can distribute it nicely and more precisely. Alright. Let's get some right there. this in place. Jeez. Q is playing with her tail. That's what you're hearing. And in case you were curious what was happening, it's literally just a little deaf kitty playing with her tail. Here for a minute, add a little bit more resin, and then hit it again, just to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. I always feel so awkward when I'm wearing gloves like this. There we go. Now we can put it down. And it will fit here. Woot. You having trouble catching your tail? Is that what's happening? Is it difficult? Oh no, it keeps getting away from you. So yeah, just waiting to get this cured. And I'll show you what that looks like. You know, the look of this kind of reminds me a little of Terraria. If you ever played in the mushroom area in Terraria, it does feel like that. So I'll show you what it looks like in just a minute. Okay. So, see that? There's a little mushroom in here. That's really cute. Now I want to get the other one over here. I want it to be about right there. And this one I'm not going to worry so much if it's forward. Might be nice to have one that's closer to the back. So let's get this in here. Nice little section. Plop that sucker right there and then build up some resin around it. Just to make sure it's nice and established in this and won't move. Okay. Now let's see. Get this and boom. I got these little small pieces from AliExpress. They were not expensive. They're really cute though, and I've been trying to find a use for them. I wanted to originally put them inside of my little shaker, my potion bottle shaker earrings, but they're just too big, and I've been trying to think of what I can do with them. So I actually like that I can find a way to use them in these little switch shakers. That's actually really, really cool for me. Alright. Just letting it all cure. Okay, let's see how it looks. What do you think of that? Well, thanks, Q. I appreciate it. Isn't that neat? So now I'll put the lid on top of this once I've put more things inside. I might add a little bit more UV resin at the bottom of each of them just to make sure that they're not going anywhere. Because these are going to be shakers, so they're going to be shaken around. But I don't think I have to be quite as precious with it because they're established now. So let's drop some in. Just a dollop. And then drop another big dollop right here. And then let me move that around, and then I will seal that again. Just making sure it's all connected, established. Everything's, kind of fusing it with the resin so that it's less likely to get dislodged. And let's do it again. Hello, Q. Oh, hi. You gonna take my footstool? Yes. Okay. You can have it. You're very cute. She's just being cute. She's bored and wants to be in my lap, but I'm busy, child. Oh my goodness. Q, what the heck? What are you doing? Are you okay? You are such a disaster. Ugh. Ugh. Let's try that a little bit more just because. A kitty interruption. You are a goof. You are a goofy cat. Yeah, I know. She's just complaining because she wants my attention. Hi. Oh, jeez. You're going to force your way into my lap, aren't you? Can you let me finish this shaker first? Can I finish this first? Is that okay? Okay, I think that's good. Alright, so now we got to figure out what to put in here. And now I'm kind of feeling putting Among Us stuff in here is going to be actually really cool. Because it'll look like they're going through this, this interesting little space area. But it might also be a little weird. I don't know. This is what my little Among Us guys look like. I think they look pretty cool, but I don't know. Screw it. I'm just gonna do it. We'll see how it looks. Oh my god, she's watching the live stream on my iPad. You're a goofy cat. Let's use the blue guy. There we are. I think that's cool. Okay. So now, let's add the little pieces. There we go. Like that. She's just intently watching. Okay, so I want to add these. I think these are pretty. So let's put some of these in here. cool, right? I know it's really far out, so you guys can't see it as well. Let me show you. See that? Isn't that cool? I love those little stars. So we've got our little Among Us friend. Let me add some glow-in-the-dark stars to it. These will glow green. So that'll add some variety. Then we'll add some of these blue stars as well. Okay, now kind of looking at this, and I'm not sure about this blue. I do like the emerald blue stars though, so let me go with these. Well, maybe it's got enough stars. Girl, it's got enough stars, it's okay. Okay, so let's go with, I kind of like these glitters, so I'm going to add a little bit of each. I can open it with my glove fingers. See, that looks cool, huh? We're getting some good variety in here of like materials. I like the texture you can get when you add like different types of pieces inside. And those look good together. Those little glitters look nice. Okay. And then I think we're good. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Maybe some of this green color shift might be... No, I think... Girl, I think you're good. Okay, so let's add the top piece. So I cut these out in advance and they fit. So what I'm gonna do is get my resin and I'm gonna go around the edges and then I'm gonna seal it. I think I did this upside down. The heart is up here instead of down. Oh man. Oh well, screw it. It still looks cool. I'll get it right for the next one. The rule of cool. That's it. Alright. So now I'll spread this all out around these edges. Get them nice and juicy. Because we don't want these to leak. That's the big fear. So she'll just get like, it'll just explode. Okay, then put that down. Get this. Press all this into place. Shapes all in. Okay, and now we'll seal it. I've been listening to Oh No by Marina lately, and that song is just in my head. It just lives rent free in my head. And I don't want to sing it because then I'll get copyright strikes. What a dystopia world we live in. So once this gets all cured up, I'll show you what we're going to do next. There's a reason these cost like $25 to $30. They're $20 for you guys right now, but these are a lot of time and a lot of materials and a lot of acquiring materials, and the room for error is so high. Okay, so now I'm sealing the whole top. I'm just doming it. This is a part that is beautiful when you finish it, but I kind of hate the process of doing it because I'm always afraid I'm going to make it lumpy or smear something. But the color comes out really nice doing this. Also, it takes a lot of UV resin to do this, and I could use regular resin, but there's always a chance that it'll slide, and I don't want to ever take that chance. These take so much time to make, I don't want to run the risk of messing them up. Don't worry, little UV curing light, we'll get to you. It's so excited it tried to kill me. Okay, get all to the edges, all the way up, cover all of it. There we go. Everything nice and sealed and smooth. There's bubbles, bubbles, get out of here. Thicker the coat, the more little maintenance things you have to do to make sure that it's like gonna look right. You have to kind of get used to the fact that margin for error is very high, if that makes sense. Okay, let's put this here and cure, and we'll see how we did. So one thing I've noticed also with UV resin is it tends to like shrink inward, so that's why I have to get it all the way to the edges. I need to buy more of that. It's like half a bottle, maybe a little bit less, and I have a lot of shakers to make still. Just letting it cure, and let's see what we get. Do it one more time. That song is just living rent free in my head right now. After I seal these, I always like to give it an extra couple of hours before I fill them with oil just to be safe. So, I don't know why I'm still holding that. Alright, let's see. So it's nice and smooth. See that? So once this has oil in it, our little Among Us dude is going to float around like they're in space in some weird world. And that is kind of awesome, in my opinion. I think that's cool. So, yeah, that's pretty neat. This one I'll actually get on the correct side. I might actually go ahead and affix these because I'm afraid. See the little hearts down here? I'm afraid I'm going to forget and mess it up. And I don't want to do that. Okay. You come here. Grab you. It's harder to grab onto than you might expect. Okay, so let me hold this in here and carefully stick it into the resin and then hold it over. I'm sorry you can't see what I'm doing. It's rough filming a process like this because I can't angle it the way I would like every time. I pulled it out because I had to fix that in. Okay, got a little more here. Stick right there. I'm going to lay you down. I'm going to stick you in there. Prop you up. There we go. Makeshift, but it does the job. So go ahead and do this one too. Okay, let's get this in here. Here we go. I can get some that look like whales, and that might be interesting to put that in the middle, and then you have stuff around so it'll look like it's floating in space. That could be really cool. So now I'm thinking. AliExpress takes forever to ship, but I find it easier to find little pieces like this, little tiny things like this over there. Okay. Let's add some more resin just to make sure it's nice and sealed in. All right. Get this cured. And we'll see. And I saw my Etsy orders that I shipped out last night got picked up by our mail carrier. Glad for that. Just busy, busy. Okay. Let's see. Yep. Nice and solid. See how cool that looks? I love it. I love this idea. This is a really cool thing. Okay, so I'm going to close this. Let's go ahead and get our little Among Us character. Blue guy. Blue astronaut. Now let's do what we did last time. So I want to be able to list these on Etsy as like, you know, 2 listings. Well, not 2 listings, 2 items in the same listing. I don't want to have to make separate listings for them. I have too many things that need separate listings. Let's get these. I'd order some more of these too, these little pearls. I thought you had something in the container, the scoop. Oops. There we go. And then we had this, not that, this, and this. Okay, so let me get those. All right. That looks pretty cool, I think. So now, you get the other one. I wasn't going to go ahead and do all this, but I'm like, I'm here. I may as well. It needs to rest anyway afterwards. I have a bunch more curing that I'm going to be working on, so it's probably best to go ahead and get these in there. Okay, I don't have to be too perfect with that part because I'm gonna dome it anyway, so it'll all blend together. But just make sure this is all juicy in here again. There we go. You know what I might actually do is go ahead and fill in the buttons so they don't create weird little bubbles later. That might be a smart decision on my part. I'll dome over it after. And we'll find out if that works to reduce bubble creation. Okay. Get this on. Okay. Let me get this all set here. Let's push this down as much as we can and seal. These are looking really cool. I'm so happy with these. I wanted to use the Among Us guys for a little while because I got them originally because I was making a birthday present for my nephew. No, Christmas present for my nephew with them. He got one of the shakers before I made them available to anybody else because of course I'm anti like that. And he loves Among Us, so I wanted to make sure I had cool stuff like that for him. I tried to find some FNAF stuff, but they didn't have anything like that, and that makes me kind of sad. But, buddy, if you're watching, hey. He likes to check out my YouTube channel. He's always impressed because he thinks I'm a YouTuber, and I'm like, oh, sweetie, no. I'm not an influencer or anything like that. I am just a person on YouTube. I wouldn't say I'm a YouTuber. That's like a whole, like, profession and stuff, and I don't upload enough. You know what I mean? So, but it's cute. He's adorable. He wants to be a YouTuber someday. So, I think that's cute. Power to him. Why is it not holding there? There we go. It just didn't want to stay for some reason. Okay. looks all right. Okay, let's lock and load. Yeah, I think a lot of kids right now want to be YouTubers. I think that's like I think I saw something that said that was like the top job that a lot of kids want, and I'm just like, well, good luck, kiddos. But also like props, small business. You know what I mean? If they can get it going, I say that's awesome. So they can avoid the creeps that are out there. That's the thing. There are a lot of creeps. Okay. So let's, well, I should probably do it one more time because it's a really thick layer of resin. I don't want to mess it up. I hate messing stuff up.